Welcome to episode 45 of Timm Talk, the podcast about the DC animated universe co-created by Bruce Timm. I am Chris Lord.
I'm Cameron Dexter.
And this is our last episode for Batman, the animated series.
This is our last ever episode of Timm Talk.
Last ever. We're done at this point. We're going to abandon our...
We talked about my retirement last week. It hit Chris a little too hard.
No, I just can't do it. I just can't. I'm so depressed that we're going to be ending. We're going to forego our mission to do all of the episodes of all of the
we've
shows.
We've been lying to you for 44 episodes. We've been lying to your face.
All 40 of our listeners are going to be so disappointed when we stop now.
But we're not. We're not actually stopping.
No, we are going to continue. But this is the end of the animated series. We have then Sub-Zero, and then we're on to Superman.
Which is crazy.
I know it is exciting times, but like sad times.
Yeah, it's very
sad times as well. We don't really have any Batman related news because we're recording this the Monday before Comic-Con. So whatever news is out there has yet to be released because that's all coming this weekend. So we have other random things. You a Whovian at all?
Not particularly, but
okay.
I saw the news and all of the weird backlash that's going on.
Well, of course it is. But yes, we have our first female Doctor, which I am very excited about. I haven't watched the latest season because I have no idea where the fuck to watch it because the BBC makes things difficult.
The Capaldi season?
Yeah, I've watched 2 of the 3 Capaldi seasons. I haven't watched the newest one.
I didn't realize he was on for 3 seasons.
Yeah. No, but it's awesome. So it's Jodie Whittaker, and I only recognized her from the first episode, I think it is, of Black Mirror. She's like the wife. I don't know if you've seen the...
I don't know if I've seen the very first episode.
Okay, yeah. No, she's good, and I'm just super excited about this because like I want them to do this.
Yeah, and we obviously have very, very dedicated friends who we learn a lot of what's happening through them.
Yes, this is true. Yeah. Shout out to Matt Acevedo and Lauren Bancroft.
Yep.
Who are the real Whovians.
The truest of Whovians.
Oh, fuck. I wonder if we're going to do... I helped them do their Doctor Who show.
Oh,
there's a couple episodes out. Yeah, I helped them make that, and I should check with them. Like, hey, we do another one soon because we had some news. I don't know.
You should.
Yeah,
because they did the one with Mothership Nerdist, not Mothership. Sorry,
Matt did.
Lauren was on one episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but no, I mean, that's super exciting. I'm excited about it. Unsurprisingly, there are trolls on the internet who aren't, but fuck them. They're misogynists, and we don't care about them.
Yeah.
So, and then the only other bit of news we have some Disney news coming up here. But
do we?
I know you have more because you are our reporter on site, but they finally cast the Aladdin movie.
Yeah, so who is Aladdin? Because I saw the name and it didn't ring any bells.
Mana Masood? I looked him up. I haven't seen anything that he's been in. But I was smart and left the page open so I can list it anyways. So he's going to be in the new Jack Ryan TV show, which isn't even out yet.
Cool.
But other than that, it's like some TV stuff. Poser, The 99, Open Heart, Saving Hope. I don't know, nothing I've seen him before. But, he looks the part, and Disney does a pretty good job with casting. But you do know who is Jasmine.
The Pink Ranger.
Naomi Scott. The new Pink Ranger.
Which is so weird because I feel like I watched her on her first role. She started as a Disney star. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I didn't know that, no.
There was a movie called Lemonade Mouth.
I don't even want to know.
It has a pretty good soundtrack. Because it's them trying to
By what standard?
By my standard, Chris.
Oh no.
It was them still... Because, there was obviously the hype of High School Musical and them trying to recapture that explosion. And so there was that, and then there was Camp Rock that was kind of there, and then there was not going to talk about Jump In.
Yeah, okay, we don't need to get into all of that.
At some point, me and Taylor are still going to start our DCOM DCast.
Oh, I know, we do need to do that.
Yeah,
it'll be a spinoff of this at some point.
Right?
Not really a spinoff because I won't be there, but
I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be
there.
You
only need one person for a spinoff.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very
Look
true.
at Joey. But you were at D23.
I was. If you can't tell from my fake energy, I'm exhausted right now.
Yeah, I bet you are. But you were at the animation panel. I know you were texting me. There was some pretty awesome shit.
Oh, man. So first off, the security is top notch. I haven't been in Hall H for a while, but I'm sure they do the same thing there. If not, they're definitely going to start this year.
Yeah.
So for the general public, I was lucky enough to have a press pass because I have friends in high places, and I thank them every day for what they do. For the general public, they had white plastic bags, opaque plastic bags. You had to seal your phone in before you could go in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And even in the press section, they said you can have your computer out, your phone's out, but you can't take a picture. That is completely illegal.
Yeah.
Not illegal, not allowed.
Yeah. Prohibited.
That's the word.
Prohibidado.
Prohibidado. Where's that from?
It's from Fired Up.
You're right. Prohibidado. Yeah. All right. I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah, you should be. I'm mad at you. But continue with your
so
story.
Sad. I'm in Disneyland right now. So right when the panel starts, John Lasseter, being the amazing person that he is, comes out with a fucking t-shirt cannon. Because how else do you start a big panel?
It's the best way possible.
Yeah. And a guy directly in front of us pulls his phone out and takes a picture. And I can see we're kind of right at the aisle. Mm-hmm. So I see security stare him down, and they kind of look, and they do like fake army signs to each other of like, this guy. And it's like another security guard comes, runs in front of us, like hits the guy on the shoulders, like, you need to leave now.
Did they black bag him? Did they like put a black bag with Mickey ears on it over his head and like drag him out of there?
Because they got him out immediately. And I'm like, poor guy.
Oh my God.
And they definitely teased you in that panel. Like, they tried to get you to pull your phone out. Because so for the announcements, there's a weird airplane movie that's coming out, which no one is talking about because no one cares.
Yeah.
The Wreck-It Ralph 2, not trailer, but we got 2 clips.
Oh, right. Because it reunites like all the Disney princesses, right?
That might have been the most magical moment of my life, Chris.
Yeah. Because they all came on stage, too, I think.
All of them, except the original 3 princesses, because I don't think their actresses are alive anymore.
They're probably dead, yeah.
But yeah, we had Ariel, Belle. I'm going to try this in order. Okay. Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Pocahontas, not Mulan, because I assume she's off filming Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever right now. Ideally, she's in Infinity War. Who knows? Who else was there? Tiana, Rapunzel. Mandy Moore is tall, from what I learned.
Oh, yeah?
She's like a head taller than everyone else.
Okay.
This was very important to me, Chris. And I'm sure our listeners deeply care about this.
No, it's fine. Let's cut anything I don't want.
Yeah.
So, I have the power.
And then they had, Moana and Anna.
Okay.
So they were all there, and then we got to see the trailer. And it's very much a self-parody, which is cool, because it's kind of a nice...
That's the whole point of Wreck-It Ralph. Like, it is self-parody.
Yeah.
Well, it's not self-parody. It's parody.
This was definitely self-parody.
Well, but self-parody implies lack of self-awareness. Like, Die Another Day is a self-parody of a James Bond movie. But it's not, like, a self-aware spoof, which I feel like is different.
No, this is definitely self-aware.
Yeah. So I think there's a difference. At least by my definition, self-parody does not include self-awareness.
Okay.
But I'm probably wrong.
Who knows? But it's a great scene, and I'm very excited for that movie.
As well as Incredibles 2.
Yes, we got Incredible. Yeah. We didn't get a trailer, which kind of bugged me.
And you and I were just talking, I don't know if it was on the podcast or when we talk in real life, but we were just talking about...
We don't talk in real life.
No, never. We were just talking about whether, based on like that first teaser poster with the drill like shown right on the cover, if it was going to be set right after Incredibles 1, and we got a confirmation, yes, it takes place like right as that moment happens.
So they said kind of the B storyline of this movie is the family still doesn't know that Jack Jax has powers. Because he only showed it to Syndrome and the babysitter.
Yeah.
So it's them trying to figure out what is going on.
Oh, that's cool.
And surprise, he has every power.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw that in the end of the first movie, too.
Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome.
I thought it was just he could transform himself was his power. But in this, we saw a short clip, which is very cute, of Jack Jax fighting a raccoon. And he can phase through solid objects. He has laser vision. He has every single power.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So maybe it's like, I kind of related it to Golden Compass. I don't know why that's the first place my mind went. Where, if you remember...
I never saw the Golden Compass, so...
Do you know kind of what it's about?
I mean, this is something about like animal companions to humans.
Your soul is on the outside of your body, and it takes the form of an animal. And until you kind of learn who you are, your animal can change shape.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of how I imagine the powers in Incredibles. It's like you grow into what your power will be set.
Oh,
as.
that's an interesting theory. But no, I mean, it sounds like it was awesome, though.
It was.
So hopefully when we come back next week, we'll have actual news from Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Batman related, maybe.
No, it's more Disney.
No, probably not.
This is now the Disney podcast I've taken over.
Oh, God. It was bound to happen eventually. But we do actually have things to talk about in regards to Batman.
And Disney.
And Disney, coincidentally, yes. It's surprisingly apropos, that long Disney conversation. Because Deep Freeze, we basically get the Bruce Timm version of evil Walt Disney.
Which I think is such a fascinating concept that I'm surprised hasn't been talked about more.
Yeah,
of like
I'm
how
almost surprised they got away with it.
Yeah, and it's how would like celebrities of our world handle being in a superhero world?
Yeah, this heightened comic book kind of world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this is our first time revisiting Freeze since Heart of Ice. Actually, like it's probably the longest gap between villain appearances, I would think. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he gets busted out of, was it Arkham or Blackgate? Arkham, by a robot again.
Very Fleischer opening.
Yeah, very Fleischer. They grab him, they take him off, and it's like you can tell the Freeze has no idea what's going on. He's afraid as he's getting captured.
And the ballerina broke.
I know,
Chris,
his little Nora ballerina.
So sad.
I know, but I did love it, though, because as Batman and Robin are watching the footage, Robin gets another opportunity for a great line where he's like, oh, that's like the most original Arkham breakout we've had this year. It's constantly happening. But they need to figure out where this robot came from, so, of course, who they're going to go to? But good old Rossum. Good old Carl Rossum.
And who's there to meet them, Chris?
Robot Batmite.
Batmite.
Yeah. Weird, but I liked that little inclusion. Did you see who else was like the little robots they had in the background when they went into his office?
I saw Crypto was back there.
Crypto was back there.
And then two other people that I missed.
Mr. Mixius Pitlick was back there. Is it Streaky the cat? Is the Flash
I think
cat?
so.
Yeah, I think he was in there as well. But they figure out that the robot that took Freeze was a advanced version of M9, which is a prototype robot that Rossum built for Grant Walker, a.k.a. our
evil
Walt Disney proxy.
Did you hear what he called himself?
A Visioneer.
They didn't hide this at all.
No.
This was Walt Disney.
No, I mean, there was no beating around the bush.
Disneyland.
Like, I mean, he even had, like, Walt's kind of signature mustache going on and a haircut. Like, there was no...
I loved this.
like how the last episode it was Roseanne. This is Walt Disney.
Yeah,
and so they go out to his like it's kind of a theme park.
Oceana, which is basically Epcot.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me too of Stromberg's Atlantis from The Spy Who Loved Me. There's kind of a James Bondish element going on here, or at least I'd be the person who would see that.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know you don't know anything about James Bond. You have to trust me. You'll take my word
I do
for
trust
it.
you. I very much trust you.
Yeah, very, very in line with Spy Who Loved Me. So Batman and Robin go out there to investigate, and I love that when they see I'm just gonna call him Walt. When Walt sees them approaching, he's like, "Oh, just deal with use our usual deterrents, which is torpedoes, like shark
torpedoes.
Shark torpedoes. That's their usual deterrent?
Yeah.
For every random boat that comes near them?
For all of the fans that are trying to sneak into the theme park.
Just take them out.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to sneak into Disneyland? They take that very seriously.
Yeah, well, they take everything very seriously. They have to.
It's true.
But yeah, so we find out, though, that the whole plot here is that it's basically just a twist off of the urban legend about Walt Disney being cryogenically frozen.
Yeah, but taken to an extreme.
Yeah, because that's what evil Walt wants to do. He's just he wants Freeze to recreate the accident that created him so that Walt can live forever.
Right.
Because he's a madman.
But yeah, so in exchange and Freeze gives a very nice monologue, which I loved. I wish I wrote the whole thing down, but it was basically I'm in, I can't experience the outside world. I can see everything, but I can't touch it. This is a curse.
Yeah.
I'd trade 1,000 of my days for your worst day.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting comparison because Freeze, that was an accident for him. He didn't ask for this. Whereas Evil Disney, he just wants to live forever. He wants to see how much further he can advance the world. Which, again, is exactly what Disney wanted to do.
Exactly, yeah. And his motivation for getting Freeze to go in line with him is that he has Nora.
Yeah.
And he's kind of threatening her, but also I will give her back to you. I have the capability to actually save her. Mm-hmm. Which maybe he does. I don't know. He probably doesn't. doesn't.
Probably doesn't. But
Probably not.
no one really knows what's happening right now.
No, but it's fine, though, because not only does he want to advance the world, but he wants to do it on his terms. And to do that, he has to also freeze the entire world first.
Which is kind of an interesting idea, because he just wanted to freeze Gotham. This was his way of ridding crime, which is another one of the interesting kind of villains who's a villain for a decent motive.
Wait, was he just trying to freeze Gotham, or was he trying to freeze everything?
For now, the plan was he was going to freeze Gotham for 5 years and start up his own society with no crime and no fighting.
Oh,
so
okay.
then once Gotham thawed, they would see that this was a better way to live, and they would get rid of their own crime.
Okay, I guess my brain just went to, now this time, Roger Moore's Moonraker, where Drax wanted to just like wipe out the planet and repopulate it with his own people, which that was kind of going on here too. Like he had his special class of like people that he was going to keep around.
Yeah.
To repopulate.
This was very much Disney meets 1984. Disney as Big Brother.
Yeah, Disney as Big Brother.
Who kind of already
also
is,
as a
but that's
Bond
just
villain.
for my life.
Yeah, exactly.
As I sit here wearing a Disneyland hat.
Yeah, well, you always have a Disneyland hat on.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's your signature to look.
It is.
So, yeah, and and then Batman and Robin get there, and they're gonna try and stop Freeze. They're like, "Don't do this."
They guilt him into being a good guy.
Yeah, because he is kind of a good guy.
He doesn't
sorts.
want. I don't think we can say he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's not motivated by the typical bad guy means. Mm-hmm. So he initially
being a bad guy doesn't mean you have to be a bad guy, Chris.
Aw, look, you brought it back around.
Yeah, I love that quote.
So he freezes Batman and Robin, but then they convince him that he should help, and so he frees them.
Yeah, his basic argument is you wouldn't want Nora to come back to a world that's frozen over.
That's true.
Because you will find yourself even more lonely when she leaves you for what you've done.
Yeah,
which is kind of like a big burn.
It
from
really
Batman.
is.
It's like
But
that's
also,
a super low blow.
So he's right.
A little bit.
Yeah, we assume maybe Nora's also like a total asshole. We don't know.
Well, I don't know if you ever read the New 52 line from Mr. Freeze, but it's a different kind of story.
Isn't that when he's obsessed with her?
Yeah, so Nora isn't his wife. She's the first cryogenically frozen human.
That's right, yeah, which that totally ruins everything that makes Freeze compelling.
Absolutely.
I mean, they even made you feel kind of sympathetic to the fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger version just because they, completely lifted his story arc. But
that movie is gold.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to someone about it recently.
So many good puns.
It's a good bad movie. It's fun to watch.
It is.
It's terrible, but it's
the
fun.
worst.
It's also the worst. But yeah, so at this point, Disney has gone through the procedure. He's in the suit, and
Disney Freeze.
He's super excited about it. So I think it's so funny because Freeze turns on him, right? And Freeze uses his own freeze gun against Disney in the cryosuit thing. Why the fuck did Disney give him a freeze gun to start with? Because he rebuilds the suit from scratch so that Freeze has his suit to walk around in. Why would he also give him the freeze gun? Like that just
probably
seems...
didn't expect him to turn on him.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's just that arrogant. Because
absolutely,
that seems like a bad idea. Like you're still dealing with a villain of sorts, right? Like you don't know much about this guy.
Well, I think he's under the impression that he will do whatever he can for Nora.
I guess. I guess that's fair.
Which is true. Batman just twisted what he wanted to do for Nora.
Yeah. Because then they somehow blow up the core, or they sabotage the freeze cannons.
Yeah.
The whole thing explodes.
We have another robot design that's super awesome and fully underutilized.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a butt plug with a propeller on the top of it.
What?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the ones on the machines?
No, like the triangular one. It's like a triangular with like a little stem up at the top and the propeller floating around and had arms on it too, right?
I don't know what you saw, but I didn't see that. I saw a very Fleischer-inspired robot.
Most people probably didn't see that.
This one looked more retro-futuristic.
I mean, it is retro.
In my eyes.
It is retro-futuristic.
Not a retro-futuristic butt plug.
It was a butt plug with robotic arms and a prop on the top of it.
I'm sure. That's not how I would draw it if I was explaining it to someone.
That's probably for the best.
But yeah, it's a very underutilized robot because they kind of capture Freeze for half a second, and then he gets out, and then they capture Batman for another half second, and then Batman just knocks him out.
Yeah.
So then, Mr. Freeze freezes evil Disney, and kind of like a very dark, like when you see where he's going, it's very dark.
It is actually. It's really dark. Yeah.
Because he's basically immortal, but now he's frozen.
He's
in
frozen,
a block of ice.
Yeah, in a block of ice, and he can see.
He's still conscious in there.
Yeah, there's clearance between. He's not frozen behind the glass.
Yeah, he's still inside his suit.
I don't know why I'm going into such detail explaining this, but yeah.
Then Mr. Freeze kind of overrides the core or whatever and freezes the whole island, gives everyone like a 30-second head start, which is nice of him. He does tell all the passengers, like, hey, this place is going under.
He's being a good sport.
You have to leave immediately because the explosion has already started.
Yeah.
What kind of bugged me...
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, what bugged me about the next scene is Batman has seen that Nora is still alive, yet he tries nothing to save her. He knows
that's true. Yeah,
how much Freeze cares.
Yeah, they don't really do anything to try and save her, do they?
Yeah, because all he cares about is getting Freeze out. Because I think that's where his conscience is. It's like, I have to save you, but I don't understand or I forgot what's causing the pain. So Freeze kind of turns around. He's like, I have to save Nora. Batman, lassos him. He's like, no, we have to leave. She's dead. You just leave her. Like, you just saw her. You saw her not dead.
Yeah, she's right there.
Yeah.
Go back for her.
So Freeze breaks out, freezes Robin. He's like, you can choose me or your boy. And so obviously he's going to save Robin.
Yeah, take the boy and go.
And then it ends on another sad ending for Freeze, because Freeze can't ever cut a break.
No, he can't.
So you see him not wearing his glove. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, I didn't notice that, actually.
Yeah, he's in kind of this ice tomb with him and Nora, and he puts his hand on the glass. And it's just, you feel very isolated just looking at him.
Yeah,
and
it's a beautiful shot. I mean, they always do a great job with him. There's a couple really gorgeous shots in this too, like the right for one of the commercial breaks when Freeze points his gun at Batman and Robin and fires, like that spiral heading towards the camera, and here too, this really touching moment of him reunited with her, but they're literally just adrift on an ice block out at sea. And we know that there's more to that story because that's what Sub-Zero is all about, actually giving like a resolution sort of to that character. But this is a really good episode, actually. Like, I mean, this is... I think, is this the only villain that never had a bad episode?
I mean, he only had 2.
Yeah, but I mean, like Riddler only had 3, but What Is Reality was pretty shit.
How dare you?
Yeah. Oh, come on, it is.
Virtual reality is great, Chris. It's the future.
Is. Also, real quick, this doesn't matter to anyone else, but I just want to point out real quick. So this is, to Cameron, this is the robot, and
that's not the robot I was talking about.
Oh, okay. This is the robot I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a butt plug, right?
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the one that captured Freeze at the beginning.
Oh, right. I thought you were talking about a different robot design.
No. No, I'm talking about the real robot that's actually fighting.
Oh, because you said then there's another robot design, so I thought you meant the ones with the prop heads.
No, and then there's another robot. I'm sure this is great for a visual medium.
Don't care.
There's the third robot that's working the kind of the mechanics at the bottom that Freeze just freezes.
Oh, they're kind of C-3PO-esque, or like what's the fucking robot from Metropolis called?
C-3PO. Yeah, you're right.
It's gonna bother me.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I just had to prove my point real quick. That
we were talking about very different.
There
are 3 robots.
There are 3 robots,
and we both thought there were 2.
One of them looks like a butt plug with a propeller on it.
The other one is much cooler.
That's
the one that I'm talking about.
Okay, well that's why I was silent for the last 2 minutes. I was bringing up those photos.
You had to find the right butt plug to show
I did. I had to be. That was hard to find the image of that robot. I was like, Batman the Animated Series, Deep Freeze robot. I got all the cooler robots.
Yeah.
So, but I'd have to say I do like this episode. It has a really good emotional core to it, as the other Freeze episode was. I think the plot itself is a little over the top for me. Like, I like where it starts, and I kind of like what they're setting up, and then I think they picked a very generic plot we've seen oftentimes. Again, they're pulled from bad James Bond movies. That's actually not true. Spy Who Loved Me is really good. Moonraker's terrible. But they pulled these weird plots thrown in there, and it was a weird mishmash. Like, I don't know how else they could do this episode, but it felt like they were trying to talk about a lot of stuff in a very short space.
I think the closest thing I could compare it to is the Clock King episode, but at least this is still villain-themed. Clock King, the problem with that one was any villain could have had that power.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
But at least this one was still Freeze focused. And I feel like if I wasn't such a big Disney nerd, I wouldn't have connected to this episode as strongly. Everything about it.
But
is
you're a
still,
Disney nerd?
Just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I've been to the park a few times.
Yeah.
Because everything about it is kind of a step down from Heart of Ice.
I would agree.
The animation quality isn't quite there.
No, it's not.
The storyline isn't quite there. It still has the emotional resonance.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all it has for it.
But I mean, for a follow up to Heart of Ice, which most people say is the best episode, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's generally considered the best, and pretty much everyone says one of the best. Like, it's a pretty decent follow up to that, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they really did a good job this last season. Here,
Yeah, because
So-
we talked about this last week. There was one
like
bad
the Terrible
episode
Trio
we
was
could
like
think
a
of.
real stinker, arguably one of the worst. Everything else has been pretty solid. And
Yeah.
and our next one, Batgirl Returns, also really good. Any other thoughts on this one before we move on? There?
I do want to bring up because I brought this up at the very beginning of what famous person would you want to see in a superhero world, either being a hero or villain.
Like who would I love to see? Like what real world figure would I love to see drop into?
Yeah, like the Batman world.
I don't know why the first thought that came to my mind was JFK.
Really, my first thought was Steve Jobs.
That's way more interesting. I don't know why I thought JFK.
Well, I mean, we do know JFK is a mutant, according to
Oh, that's true. According to
not Dawn of Future's Past.
Days of Future
Days
Past.
of Future Past.
Yeah.
I just saw Planet of the Apes, so I have wrong
did?
words in my head. I did. I'll talk about that later.
Oh, I'll talk about the plugs. Okay. Yeah. Our plugs are synced.
Yeah. Shut up. This is why I'm leaving the podcast. This is why there's no more episodes after this. We have too many creative differences, Chris.
I know. You're just.
I'm trying to make a family-friendly podcast. God damn it!
I'm just trying to make butt jokes.
You just want to go. You saw Robin in that big block of ice. You just want to go warm him up.
No, not this time. I was thinking about this though. Who am I going to be all thirsty for when we get to Superman? Because there's not a Robin equivalent in that show.
I don't know.
Like Superman doesn't.
You're
that
just
version
gonna have to suffer.
That animated version of Superman doesn't do it for me. So I don't know who.
I mean, you're not going to have anyone until New Batman.
Until Batman be new Oh, that's right. Then
you got Nightwing.
Then Nightwing's back, and Nightwing's
pointy
better.
butt.
Nightwing's better than Robin.
Yeah.
And then, well, of course, there's Terry. Once we get to
Yeah.
but
Good old Terry.
yeah.
Who do you have for Justice League? JL and JLU.
Oh, good question. I don't know. I haven't watched it in a long time.
To continue from our Spider-Man podcast, fuck, marry, kill JLU members.
Let's see. I would.
If you haven't listened to our Spider-Man podcast, a big majority of it is just playing fuck, marry, kill with Marvel characters.
I would. I think I'd fuck Martian Manhunter because I think that'd just be very, very interesting.
He can be whatever you want.
But I mean, and he can get in my head too. I think it'd just be a very interesting experience. Always do things for the story. I would marry Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Because she's
How
just,
very straight of you.
I know. She's fucking amazing, Wonder Woman. And I'd kill. Maybe Superman?
And he dies enough.
That version of Superman's kind of boring for me. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. What about you, Cameron? Who would you fuck, marry,
Who would I
kill?
fuck, marry, kill? Oh, man. How many fantasies have I thought about this? We fucking Supergirl, for sure.
No, it has to be the 7.
Oh, the core? Oh,
yeah, I didn't expand it out to the JLU.
I said JLU at the beginning.
No, we're sticking with the original 7. If it gets JLU,
God
it gets
damn
too crazy. So yeah, the original ones.
All right. We're going to fuck Wonder Woman. We're going to marry Jon Stewart.
Oh, that's a good call. Jon Stewart's amazing.
Yeah.
And then who going to kill?
Hot girl.
Okay. I say we can't kill the Flash because we see what happens.
I would never kill the Flash.
When you kill the Flash, we see what happens.
Flash is my best man. We're making a full wedding party.
That's true. He can be all of the groomsmen at once. He just zips back and forth real quick.
No, I'll just have all of the different Flashes.
Oh, that's true. Well, but in the in this,
I know.
Yeah, in this continuity, there's just is there one more? Is there two? I feel like we get.
I don't think we see Alan
Scott. Do we get a Bart?
Sorry, not
Alan Scott.
Sorry, that's Green Lantern.
I was about to say the Green Ranger. The Green Lantern. We are just completely off at this point.
I think we only get one in JLU.
Okay. All right. Well, We'll get there eventually, and we'll figure it out.
Who's our sponsor for this week?
Our sponsor.
Try to get this back on track.
Our sponsor this week is Saint Anger, and here's the promo for it.
I'm Paul Lair, and I've got anger issues. Convenient fees on Live Nation, that pisses me off. People who drive slow in traffic, that pisses me off. Dropping things, that pisses me off. So what do I do to manage my anger? I have a podcast called Saint Anger, where I have a guest on every week. They tell me what makes them angry, and then it's like this little therapy session. It'll help you out. It sure as hell helps me out. So help me help you by subscribing to the Nerdist School Network.
I told you I was going to play one of the ads for you once.
No, I'm glad you did. That was very enlightening. Do you have a little more information about Saint Anger?
I actually haven't listened to it.
Neither have I.
So,
but everyone should go listen to it.
Yeah, we are horrible people, and I haven't
There's a lot of
listened to
podcasts in the Nerdist Podcast Network now.
That's true. Yeah, there's some new ones actually that I have to go check out. But yeah, go listen to Saint Anger.
Yeah, go listen to that.
Yeah, but
it's kind of like our own version of Grind My Gears, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things I could go on there to talk about. I'm not going to elaborate on that.
You don't need to.
No.
I feel like I've been doing very well containing my anger over the past few months.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. I haven't had many breakouts.
Yeah, you keep it in line, you know?
Yeah. Just keeping it real deep down. Where it belongs.
No kickball fights at all. So,
no kickball fights. No dodgeball fights. No more holes in my desk or walls. Doing pretty good now.
Well done. So Batgirl.
The last episode.
The last episode.
I think they did a very good job with it.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected it to be.
No, I wasn't expecting this either.
Because it's not a Batman episode.
No, he get one brief appearance from Bruce, not even from Batman.
Yeah, Bruce is in Paris for this episode.
Yeah.
And it fully focused on everyone else.
Yeah, I really like the way it starts, too, because it opens and we see a jade cat statue getting stolen from a museum, so we automatically assume, it must be Catwoman, and we go up onto the roof, and Batman's there, and then he gets attacked by the Penguin, and then by the Joker, and then by Two-Face. And we start to realize pretty quickly this is probably some sort of dream sequence because those guys are never together. Except for that one episode where they were.
Yeah. 2 episodes where they were.
Strange. The Doctor Strange. Oh, and I almost got him.
3 episodes where they were.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Trial.
Oh, that's right. Forget my point I just made. But we see very...
It's not the most obvious team up.
We see very quickly that it's Barbara having a fantasy in which she gets to rescue Batman and then get a little smooch from him, too.
Yeah. Oh, but no. She gets blue-balled. Because she's woken up by Dick Grayson, of all people. I
really love the way they did that, too. Like, as she's dreaming about Batman, all of a sudden it's Dick's voice starts coming through, and she wakes up. And because I forget in Shadow the Bat, do we see that they know each other?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's only in this one they introduced that element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also don't know that they know who each other... they obviously know Barbara and Dick, but they don't know...
They don't know that they're alter egos, yeah. So I just want to point out real quick that I have a note here that just says woken by Dick.
Shut up. Shut up. This is a family-friendly podcast, Chris.
It is the furthest thing from... As we talked about this children's cartoon.
Yeah.
But what I like is that then they do a kind of like secondary twist in that. We see that the cat actually was stolen. That wasn't part of the dream sequence. That really happened.
We learned that Batgirl is a psychic.
Yeah, that's true. And she's
also, actually Zatanna.
She's a
big twist.
Yeah, no one saw that coming, except for her because she's a psychic.
Yeah,
but we do learn too that it wasn't Catwoman that stole it,
right?
Because both Batgirl and Catwoman go back to try and figure out what's going on there, and
I love that idea, and I kind of wish it was played on more. We kind of got it teased with Two-Face, but every villain has such a unique style of crime, and they all steal very specific things. That why aren't they all just setting each other up all the time? Is there like a villain's
that's a really
code?
Good point. I didn't even think about that, but that's an element they finally addressed in this one.
Yeah, because like anyone can do that circular cut.
Yeah,
yeah, and they can steal cat things. Because again, like it's just because it's a cat statue, everyone expects it to be Catwoman.
Yeah, and even like when Robin shows up to investigate, he doesn't believe Batgirl.
Well, he doesn't listen to her.
That's true, he doesn't. Yeah, because
he's a big, strong man. He doesn't need to listen to a woman.
Yeah,
it's the early 90s.
At least this is poking fun at that rather than embracing it, which the show does sometimes.
A little bit.
Yeah. But, Catwoman and Batgirl get a chance to kind of hit it off. They develop a respect for each other, a camaraderie.
Yes. And Catwoman wants Batgirl to team up with her.
Yeah, to help. So
Yeah.
they go off to go find some clues.
Yeah, do some detective work.
Yeah, so they go to the Bayshore Pier. Real quick, though. So Barbara, as Barbara, finds a note at the university gym.
I was going to bring this up, too.
Yeah, from Catwoman, like in the shape of a cat, being like, hey, winged mouse, like, meet me at the Bayshore Pier tonight. Does that mean that Catwoman knows who Barbara is?
My theory on this was Catwoman has the basic deductive skills, like, oh, she's probably in college, and with her skills, she's definitely a gymnast.
Yeah.
And so her first thought is probably the university, because how else can she afford all of the bat gadgets?
Yeah.
But I would assume she went to, like, every kind of gymnasium and
There's
kind of
just a
posted it
shitload
up.
of notes.
Yeah.
Which people like, there's just like a crowd of random people at the Bayshore Pier later that night. They get roped into the bar fight that happens.
Yeah. It's all of those guys. That's all of their nicknames. It's a winged rat.
Yeah. Because, they go to the stacked deck, which I feel like that might be an actual, like, comic location. Because I think you haven't played the Telltale game, right?
Nope.
Because I just finished it. And I
Nice.
think the stacked deck might actually be a bar that's a location in the game. I'm not 100% certain on that. I have to look it up. But it doesn't really matter. But there they come across the chemist.
Yes.
Who knows all kinds of things about acids, because an acid was used to break into the museum and to break through the security system around the cat.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because he mentions a few possibilities, like, oh, it's not Axis, it's not something else. But then he's like, and he realizes who it is and he tries to escape.
Yeah.
And that shit don't fly.
Which is weird, because why is he trying to... Because Daggett's not there. Spoiler, it's Daggett.
It's Daggett,
I didn't
yeah.
mean to ruin that surprise.
Oh, I was really building towards it.
He doesn't have a motive for running.
No, I mean, I guess if he just fears that Daggett will kill him, which...
I guess so.
I'd say even more so than Thorn, Daggett is really trigger happy.
Yeah. And we learn it's Daggett. Or before that, the chemist tries to escape. There's a bar fight that breaks out. And I love that it's just like a generic bar fight. And a lot of people there don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of The Great Mouse Detective, how just like one person throws a punch and everyone just gets in on it because they can.
Yeah, because you see Batgirl and Catwoman kind of look at each other like, okay, cool, we got what we want, let's head out.
Yeah.
And you still see the fight happening
Just going
kind
on
of
in the
in
background.
silhouette in the background.
Excuse me.
Which is very fun, because, like, yeah, they're just goons being goons, beating each other up.
Yeah.
So they learn the last chemical plant they were talking about is Daggett.
Mm-hmm.
Catwoman knows because the last... I like this nice little recap
They
right
bring
before.
it back in, yeah.
Of, like... Because we haven't seen Daggett in a while. Since last season.
I feel like since Cat Scratch Fever, which is referenced here, I feel like that was the last time we saw him.
Yeah. So Barbara brings up, because she is Gordon's daughter, she knows all the police cases. It's like, oh, yeah, this is the place where the Clayface accident was. Remember that?
Remember that thing?
Remember that, audience? Remember Clayface?
Hey.
And yeah, so then we remember all that stuff.
Yes, it was Cat Scratch Fever, which they bring up because Catwoman's like, oh yeah, I remember Daggett. He tried to poison me and my cat.
Yes.
How dare he? So then they go into the facility and they get captured. And I love it too because they're standing over. They're on a gangway. Gangway?
Yep.
Gangplank?
A walkway?
A walkway?
A run? No.
An elevated platform?
That thing.
Yeah. They're standing on a platform above
The set that we've seen very often.
so many times. Yeah, the very thing that made Two-Face into Two-Face, that made the Joker into the Joker, a giant open tank full of acid they're just casually walking across. And I love it because Batgirl's like, oh, what are you going to do? Like, hang us over a tank and, like, drop acid on the rope until it burns through? And Daggett's like, no, I'm going to shoot you and throw your bodies in there and they're going to dissolve.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which I didn't really... I mean, I understand he would want to kill them.
Yeah.
But his whole thing was he was setting it up so Catwoman would take the blame. His whole process was
I
he
guess
stole the
that's true.
jade because he didn't care about it. He was going to sell it to start over.
Yeah.
And he chose that specific statue because he knew everyone would point to Catwoman before him.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
guess...
then he's just gonna kill her.
Well, I guess he can't let her go.
In his factory.
Right, I guess he can't let her go at that point. So
Yeah.
I guess he has to improvise. But, meh.
Yeah.
I just like that it wasn't some sort of like over the top nefarious,
Right.
like easily
It's not a
escapable
death trap,
that,
So then
They did this joke before Austin Powers did, I just realized. Because this came out a number of years before that.
yeah,
Well done, guys.
you did it.
Yep. You're ahead of the curve.
You beat Mike Myers to the punch.
Yep. So, but Robin comes in and saves them. And then Catwoman is about ready to let Daggett fall into the acid, but Batgirl saves him. Because you know what? Batgirl's she's
A
a
stand-up gal.
She's a stand-up lady. Yeah. She's gonna take good care of him.
Yeah, so then Catwoman and Batgirl made a deal. Catwoman said, if I double-cross you, which was obviously what she was going to do, I'll turn myself in.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of a fun little twist at the end, where she does give herself up to the police.
And then
you see her in the cop car. They drive like 10 feet.
Yep.
And you see both police officers get thrown out of the car. She's like, I said they'd take me in. I didn't say how far. And she
Yeah,
just
or for how
drives off.
long, and whoop, off I go.
Just
Yeah.
drives off into the sunset.
It's pretty fun. Like, I'm really glad that they brought Batgirl back.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we get a lot more time with her in the new Batman Adventures and a little bit in Sub-Zero. But, yeah, again, almost like Freeze, like, I wish we had gotten more stuff with her, but at the same time, by only having a few episodes, they were all good, which I guess is a consolation prize. But I do have some questions for you.
Do you?
Not about this episode necessarily, but this is
good.
our last episode.
I'm glad we didn't screen these ahead of time.
Well, they're not. It'll work.
Okay.
They're not the typical questions because we did a lot of this like before season 1 too.
That's
Like,
true.
I mean, I could already tell that your favorite villain is the Riddler, and your favorite episode would be If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich?
Yep.
So it's not worth rehashing these sort of things. So instead, I have a little more offbeat questions for you. So we know who your best villain is. Who do you think is the most underutilized villain?
I would still say Clock King.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Because we did bring up his last episode was very bad.
Yeah.
But his first episode, like, he is the man who can outsmart Batman. He can outsmart Riddler.
Yeah.
He is the smartest person because he is the biggest planner. Mm-hmm. And I really think that, like, he should have been used so much more.
You're right, because he makes a brief appearance in like this Suicide Squad episode of JLU where he's in that role of like he's the planner and the thinker. But that's a good point, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
We didn't really get a great episode that showed him out thinking everyone around him. Mm-hmm. Oh man, good call.
What would you say?
I didn't actually bother to answer my own questions.
Why would you?
I was going to try.
This is my podcast.
I was going to try and think of it on the spot, but that's a really good one. I'm gonna have to go with Clue the Werewolf from Moon of the Wolf. You know, we
Obviously.
needed or
The Terrible Trio.
The Terrible Trio. We needed more of them.
We needed a fourth.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of real answers, maybe Bane.
Yeah. Yeah, he
I
only got
think-
one episode.
Yeah, he only got one episode, or even like a lockup. Like Bane's a more interesting character, so I would have liked to see more of him. But yeah, I feel like we could have gotten another Bane episode that would have been pretty
I would
good.
have liked also. I think I would have liked one more Mad Hatter episode because they're just fun and trippy.
That's true. The Mad Hatter
They're
episodes.
usually the more unique episodes.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, where we've always seen the potential for him to be one of the deadliest villains, but he never really gets that opportunity.
Right.
So yeah, that would have been cool to see him do another one.
Hit me with another one. Let's go. I'm
All
on
right.
a roll.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you what your favorite episode is, because again, we've already established that. But if someone had never seen the series before, and you want to show them one episode that perfectly encapsulates why it's so good, what would that be? And I did come up.
You do have the book.
I did come a little bit prepared here. I have this beautiful Art of the Animated Series book, which we've talked about before. And conveniently, if I can find the right page, there is a 4-page layout
Oh, that's right. Of
that
all
has
of the
all the
title
episodes.
cards.
So rather than making us try and remember them off the top of our heads, I'm going to unfurl this here so you can take a glance and look and see what your answer would be. But yes, if you're going to introduce someone to it in the same way, like I get asked all the time, if someone's never seen a James Bond movie, which one do you show them?
Right.
The question is, no, someone's never seen a Batman animated series. What's the one episode you show them to convey to them why it's such a great version?
Oh man. I mean, I would either choose Heart of Ice, or can I only do one part of a two-parter?
I was wondering about that.
'Cause I would say definitely the Two-Face episodes.
Oh, okay. Those are good calls. Yeah, I think you can do a two-parter. Yeah, you can do
I would say the Two-Face episodes are probably the best ones because that's where we
Okay.
get the most of both Bruce and Bat.
Yeah,
and
that's a good
the
point.
city
No, we're
and
not
the
done with
stories growing.
Okay.
What would you choose?
You know, I was thinking about actually, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? because that is a great episode.
I feel like I just use that answer so often.
I know,
wanted to
but
try and break out
I
something
think to be
else.
fair, Riddler's Reform might be a good one too. Because I was thinking about it, and I for me personally, probably my favorite episodes are Robin's Reckoning. Still, like I love those, but that shows why Batman and Robin are a great pair together. Which some people may not have necessarily seen that if they've only been exposed to like the crappy movies or the 60s show. But I think what makes this version so great is its treatment of the villain. So you can't really do a Robin episode because it's just Zuko. So you kind of have to do a good one. So I think I was thinking Heart of Ice. I was actually also thinking of Harlequinade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's one where like they recruit Harley to help track down the Joker. Because like the jokes in that are pretty solid. It's a good interplay between Harley and Joker. Like she gets to show her own agency, and we get to see why the Joker is both a great villain, but also really shitty to her. Mm-hmm. I recall that one being really good off the top of my head, but it all kind of blends together at some point.
My second choice would have been Almost Got Him, just because it's kind of 3 episodes in one.
Yeah, because that is a fun one. It's really clever how that's done.
Because we always say like a villain makes the show.
Yeah,
and you get to see 3 very distinct villains and their distinct styles of fighting Batman.
Yeah, and then Crocs.
And then Croc on the side.
Yeah, just throw rocks at him. Okay.
And then you also get the overdramatic flair of Batman.
Oh, he is a drama queen. Gotta respect him for it.
Yeah, those would be my few answers.
Okay, good answers. The last one here then, counterpoint to that, if you had to submit one episode, how did this get made? What would you submit?
Oh, man. I wouldn't want to do Terrible Trio. Honestly, I want to see them rip apart What Is Reality.
Okay.
Or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm right.
Just because there's like enough good stuff in there to make the conversation interesting rather than being like, oh, this is all terrible.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because I mean, obviously we can trash on Werewolf, we can trash on Sewer King.
Yeah, the Underdwellers, the Forgotten, the Terrible Trio, Moon of the Wolf. These are all pretty much the most terrible.
Yeah, I would say What Is Reality would be what I would want them to rip apart for me.
Okay, good call. I don't know what I would do for that one, actually. I would probably pick one of those ones we just talked about, the really terrible ones. Yeah, I'm going to go...
Or Showdown, because I just want to see them be like, this is a Batman episode, right?
You know what?
Why is it Jonah Hill? Jonah Hex?
Oh, I was thinking of Sideshow.
Oh, yeah, that one too.
That would also be an interesting one. But that's actually a pretty decent episode, all things considered.
Seal Boy. What are you doing, Seal Boy?
Prophecy of Doom.
I don't even remember
that was the one with like the
that's the
like
that's
the
where they're on this. Oh,
with like
okay,
they're at the like the Griffith Observatory, like the planets.
Yeah, I remember the
around.
planetarium.
Yeah, I think I'd probably pick that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I completely forgot about that episode.
There are a lot of forgettable episodes. It would be too long of a conversation to get into it, but I feel like at some point you and I should like put together that like the master list of like here are the ones that you really absolutely have to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like an offline conversation to share at some point when the list is finalized, not to have live because it'll take fucking forever.
Right.
Yeah, because there are a lot of stinkers in here, but obviously some really great stuff. I mean, if this show weren't so great, it wouldn't have spawned all of the follow-ups, which we get to talk about as well.
Yeah,
so exciting.
So, I hope you guys stick around for the rest of the series because we have so many more shows to talk about.
I know. Do you have any questions you want to just come up with off the top of your head that have to do with our wrap up of the? Because we have more time than I expected us to.
We do. Well, we still haven't done bat plugs.
Yeah, that won't take that long.
Yeah. No. I did have one little comment for the Deep Freeze episode.
Okay.
Really quick that I just remembered. Mm-hmm. During that entire episode, for some reason, did you ever watch Dr. Horrible Sing Along?
Is that a real question?
It is a real question.
Yes, of course I've watched Dr. Horrible Sing Along.
Okay, I had my Freeze Ray playing in my head the entire episode. Such a great song.
Yeah. I actually haven't watched it in a few years.
With my Freeze Ray, I will stop the world.
It's such a great... Are they going to do another one?
It's been in the talks. It's supposed to be a trilogy.
Okay.
But Joss is just kind of busy with other projects.
Yeah, that's true. He's off making Justice League and Batgirl.
Every Comic-Con, we wait for it. They always have a live sing-along blog at Comic-Con.
Yeah, and usually he has a appearance. He does a panel dedicated just to himself. I don't think he's doing it this year. I think...
Well, now he has his own convention.
He does?
He has WhedonCon.
When's that? Where is that?
Here. L.A.
Where here?
LA Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing posters for it last year at Meltdown.
Does he actually come to it?
Don't think so.
No, that's what's even the point then? Because his one man I don't want to call it show, but his one man panel is always really good. Mm-hmm. But Nothing beats though John Barrowman's one-man panel.
I haven't
You've never
seen it.
gone?
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's amazing. But you've seen like videos with him doing interviews, right?
I think so.
Yeah, because he is not the character that he plays on like Arrow, for example. He's closer to like Jack Harkness.
Oh,
But yeah.
I miss. Okay,
Yeah, because
Barrowman. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, is it Barrowman or Barrowman? I think it's Barrowman.
Either way, I just didn't hear.
Okay,
you.
yeah, 'cause
I didn't
he's
understand what you said.
So delightfully flamboyant.
Yeah.
On his own panel, but yeah. So plugs then, I guess.
I guess.
Anything else to talk?
This is a great final episode for us.
I mean, yeah. Thank God it's not the final episode. Although it very well may be after how well this goes.
No.
Okay, plugs.
Plugs. What are you watching, reading, listening to? You're going to start this one.
Okay. Well, I mean, I did finish the Telltale game Batman series.
How was it?
It is excellent. It was excellent all the way through.
That's so good to hear.
I do want to go back and replay it now and try some different options and see how it all comes together.
Do you know how many different endings there are?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. You kind of get a sense towards the end of the game that maybe some of the choices actually only end up having like kind of superficial impacts on the plot. Mm-hmm. Or I should say that there are some very distinct story beats that I think have to happen regardless of what choices you make. But I'd still be very curious to see how things pan out differently, making some different choices. So I might do that again. But that's not really a plug because that was a plug last week. I did go see War for the Planet of the Apes, which I know you also saw.
Yeah, you can plug that. I have something else.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I remember coming out of this, I felt the same way to coming out of the previous two as well, which like this is really well made. It is really good. I was engaged through it all the way. Like, it is a great film. I will never watch it again.
Nope.
I don't ever feel compelled to revisit them because you come out of it just kind of exhausted because they actually are like really emotionally taxing.
I remember I texted someone right as I walked out, and I'm like, I didn't think I could relate so much with Monkey Moses.
Yeah, right? But like, I mean, they're really, really heavy films. I mean, it's the sort of feeling that I get coming out of like an Oscar baity sort of film, but this won't get that kind of recognition. It exists in that weird space where it's a big budget summer blockbuster franchise that has none of the typical trappings that are associated with it.
Right. It's such a forgotten trilogy.
Yeah, and they're all really good. Like they're consistently good all the way through. Like there's no one you can point to like, oh, this is a stinker. Like I think you can make an argument any one of them being the best of them. And no, it's good. And watching it, I felt like, okay, Matt Reeves, he does a really good job with this one and with Dawn. I would feel comfortable, putting Batman in his hands because he is doing our next Batman movie, and apparently they've jettisoned entirely the script. Mm-hmm.
Which after seeing this, I'm okay with because
I am as well.
He's so good at not having dialogue.
Yeah,
and I feel like that would be very
storyteller.
powerful for Batman.
Yeah, and and he's talked about wanting to do kind of a more noir sort of feel to it. And I did hear a rumor from a friend of mine that it might be based off Court of Owls. I hadn't heard that rumor as well, but
okay,
that could be interesting.
We did just have that animated film come out.
Yeah, I've seen
3 or 4
that.
years ago.
I haven't read the comics. I don't know, but no, I mean, I came out of feeling okay, good. I feel comfortable putting Batman in this guy's hands. I think he'll do a good job. So I don't really have any other plugs actually.
It's been a kind of low week.
Yeah, it's been a very busy, hectic week for me, so I haven't been on top of my shit as much as before. I've been reading a lot of scripts instead. So some of them are
and you can't really plug those.
I can't really plug those. No, I can't really talk about them. But some of them are actually kind of solid, which is good.
That's good.
So, but what have you been watching, listening, reading to amongst your adventures at Disneyland?
So I got my Switch finally.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How did you get one?
Amazon.
Okay, because I thought they were like impossible to get a hold of right now.
Nope.
Oh, well.
Pretty easy actually.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah, so I got a Switch because I was told beforehand that that's like the thing to have at conventions.
Oh.
Because, I mean, luckily I didn't wait in that many lines because I was just with friends. But when you're like sitting, waiting, I'm definitely going to bring it to Comic-Con. Because when you're waiting in line, you can just be like, talk to the 3 people around you, like, hey, do you want to play Mario Kart?
Yeah.
And no one's going to turn down Mario Kart.
I might.
Well, you're a soulless person.
That's true. I actually am not a big fan of Mario Kart.
How dare you? That's such a great game, though.
I've never been a big fan of Mario Kart or of
Don't say
Super Smash Brothers.
God damn it, Chris.
In particular, I've never really liked Smash Bros. I will just play as Fox. And I'll
Stop talking.
I'll kind of half-ass it. I can kind of do Mario Kart. It's fun for me a little bit. DIY Mario Kart especially is pretty damn great.
Melee, Smash Bros. Melee is like my quintessential game.
No, I know.
I've put more hours into that game. That and Double Dash are Mario Kart Double Dash.
Okay.
Both of them are on the GameCube.
Dude, I mean, I get why people love it. Like in high school, my friends loved it. We'd always go to my friend Austin's place, and like they'd play not Mario Kart, but they'd play Smash Bros for hours, and I just never gave a shit.
we had tournaments set up in my high school.
I know. See, for me, when we were doing like those big, like not necessarily tournament stuff, like Halo was a big one. We would like get groups together and play Halo. But no, I never really liked.
Well, I spent most of the con playing Zelda.
Okay, how is it?
It's beautiful. It's so good. It's very strange for me to not be playing right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I pulled you away from that. I've actually never played a Zelda game in my entire life.
God damn it, Chris! You are not a Nintendo fanboy.
I'm really not though. Like I had a Wii. I never got a Wii U. I'm probably not going to get a Switch. No, they're never my thing. I had an N64 obviously back in the day
Because everyone did.
Yeah, and I really liked Mario 64, but no, I never really. No, it was never my thing.
Oh, I've been milking that Nintendo teat for basically my entire life.
Don't
Yeah.
know why I did that.
Because that's the sound Nintendo makes. But I played Zelda. I've been playing Zelda for a little bit. After D23, I realized how many Disney movies I hadn't seen in such a long time. So I'm rewatching Atlantis right now,
Okay.
which is good. There's something about the animation quality that isn't as good as the other ones. I don't know if they're trying something new.
Yeah.
But I know in 1961 when 101 Dalmatians came out, they tried a very sketchy quality, which kind of left like a ghost after image.
Yeah,
which is very interesting.
Which I think aesthetically works for that movie though. It works with the kind of charm of it.
Yeah.
And it also too because like the opening is them actually literally sketching it, so you kind of like segue into it a little bit.
Yeah, but for this one, it has kind of a sketchy quality to it, but it's also very rigid. And there's one, I don't remember the doctor's name, but the big black guy.
Oh yeah, I've only seen him
Candy
once
or
within like
Sweet.
the last
He has
couple
a
years,
weird
so,
name.
yeah.
But the way they animated him just feels so bizarre for some reason.
Well, I mean, could you apply that that Death of 2D animation video that you plugged?
A little bit.
Yeah, because I watched that. It's really interesting,
Isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like that might have applied here a little bit. Like maybe they're trying to go like a lower budget on it.
Maybe because this was also post Renaissance.
Yeah. What 98?
2001.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah, because if it was 98, it'd be before the Rugrats movie.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I've never seen the Rugrats movie. So.
I mean, not so much.
I haven't.
I'm not gonna,
I haven't seen the Recess movie either,
Chris,
or the Hey Arnold movie.
That one's fine. The Hey Arnold movie was the first movie. I still think, it's the only movie I've seen where I had the entire theater to myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I dragged my mom to that, and I still apologize to this day.
Oh my god. Wow, you came out of a movie not liking it?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, of course.
But she just wanted to leave as fast as possible. She consistently tries to guilt trip me and be like, "You dragged me to the Pokemon movie." I'm like, "No, Mom, I gave you the opportunity to watch the Pokemon movie."
Oh my god.
The first one is great. The second one, great. After that, they're okay.
You know me, I'm not a Pokemon guy. I've never seen any of them.
I know, you're not a Nintendo fanboy.
No, this isn't even Bat Plug anymore. This is me just shitting all your loves.
That's fine. That's what a better way to end the podcast than you just shitting on everything that I care about.
We're going to leave everyone in suspense. Are we actually coming back at this point? Have we damaged this friendship beyond repair?
Do we actually talk offline?
Never.
No.
No, we say we see these movies together, but we've never put it on Instagram that we go there. Pixar
No.
didn't happen, right?
No, we go together, but we sit on the opposite side of the theater.
That's true, yeah. You insist I buy a ticket for you on the far side.
Yes. I like sitting in the front. Chris likes sitting in the back. Mm-hmm. We're just two different people.
Yeah. It's like the odd couple.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's the Felix?
I don't know.
This doesn't matter. You've probably never seen the odd couple.
Never seen the Odd Couple.
Yeah. We should probably just wrap this up at this point.
No, let's keep going.
Okay, so your plugs are
I guess
Breath of the Wind?
Breath of the Wind. Wild.
That one.
Yeah. I always said Breath of the Wind, and people got mad at me. Breath of the
Okay.
Wild.
How dare you?
And Atlantis, I guess.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go back and kind of start at the beginning.
Of
Of
Atlantis?
of Disney animated features.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how many Disney animated features there are?
I don't.
There are 56, Chris. Yeah. Isn't that fascinating?
So fascinating. Does
Should I
that,
name
does
them?
that include Song of the South?
Nope.
Okay.
They have to be produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to ask these questions. Okay. So, okay, fine. Don't go to the full history. Just answer this one question. When did it officially become Walt Disney Animation Studios?
In 1923.
Okay. But then when Song of the South is partly animated, would that not be
but then they
included?
had a live action studio by then.
Oh, okay. So that was considered a live action movie.
Yeah, because it was Walt Disney
it's-
Animation Studios and then Walt Disney Pictures.
Oh, okay. So kind of like Mary Poppins was just mostly live action with animated stuff in it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's the weird ones in the 40s that no one remembers or even talks about.
Okay.
So yeah, that I'm not
No,
going
yeah,
to
okay,
do
good.
it.
Nope.
Not going to do it.
No,
I'm going to hold back.
Nope, you answered my question. That's it. Okay. That is it for this episode. It is it for Batman the Animated Series. We will, I'm sure, keep talking about it at various points. I still haven't finished this Art of the Batman book, so I should do that and talk about it at some
Well, it
point.
looked like there was some art for New Batman Adventures in there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we will be coming back to Batman. I think our next normal episode will be Sub-Zero. But I think we're going to bring a Comic-Con episode in between.
Yeah, next week
we
we're
don't
gonna-
have time to do a normal
We're
episode.
going to be live from Comic-Con, folks.
Except for the fact we won't be live.
Live recording from Comic-Con.
That you won't hear live, nor will there be a live audience.
It'll be live
for it.
for us. There
Which
might
is so
be...
different than every other episode. But we'll have to do like a Comic-Con.
We should get a studio audience.
Yeah, make Shane sit here and be bored off his fucking mind.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll do a Comic-Con episode, and then we'll be coming back in 2 weeks with Sub-Zero, and then after that, Superman,
Yeah.
which is very exciting. So
I have never seen.
You've never seen
Never seen the Superman series.
anything from it ever?
Nope.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I know.
Oh wow,
Excited.
this would be really exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you
Coming
want
in
to
fresh.
If you want to write to us and criticize Cameron for never having watched Superman, you can. And we're at Timm Talk Pod on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. If you want to berate him personally, he's at Cameron.Dexter. I'm doing all this apparently.
No, that's fine. You go for it. You're nailing it.
But if they want to praise me and my amazing ability to host a podcast, Cameron, can they find me?
It doesn't matter. At Lordifer
Yep.
on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
And that's it.
And that's it. Yep.
Wow, this was a shit show for an ending. Are we coming back?
Maybe-
That's your guess.
Maybe we shouldn't at this point.
If we get 5,000 likes on this video.
We'll just end it on a real shit note, which is always going to be the case.
Yep, that's every episode for us.
But anyways, thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And goodbye.
The Nerdist School